Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to make this really pretty heart in a granny square pattern. So this is really simple to do, really easy to make, and we're basically going to be working the same pattern as your traditional granny square. So I haven't changed the pattern or the count of stitches. It's going to be the exact same stitch pattern of your traditional granny square. The only difference is in row 3. So in the third row we are just going to change our color of our yarn to another color so that we get this shape of the heart. Okay, so this is really fun to make, really easy, and this is actually the slip stitch method. So in this method, the reason I chose this method was because it gives a cleaner appearance on both sides of your yarn. So, and also you don't have to sew in a lot of ends. It's just the beginning and the last end that you have to sew in, and both the sides look pretty decent. The back side also looks decent. So this is really easy to do, and you can also use this in a variety of projects. You can use it as a baby blanket, you can use it for your cushions, placemats, coasters, really about anything you can use your granny square as well. So without further ado, let's begin our heart in a granny square. This project I'll be using a 4mm size crochet hook. Okay, and you'll need two colors of your selected yarn. So I'll be using this baby pink color and this lilac color. And the basic pattern for this granny square is the same as your traditional granny square. So I have not changed the stitches or the pattern. The pattern is going to be exactly the same. The only difference will be in row 3 where we'll change the colors. Okay, so to begin your granny square, you'll begin as you would normally do your traditional granny square. Okay, so it's your preference whether you want to make a foundation chain or if you want to make a magic circle. Okay, so let's begin. I'll be doing the foundation chain. So we'll start with a slip knot like so. Okay, if you want to learn how to make your foundation chain, your slip knot or your magic circle, I will leave links in the description box below. I'll also leave links here on the right top corner as we go ahead with the tutorial if you want to check any of the particular stitches, so you can review them and come back to this tutorial. Okay, so once you've made your slip knot, now we're ready to make our foundation chain. So as normal, we'll make a foundation chain of 5. So to make a foundation chain, all you need to do is make sure your hook side of your hook is facing up. Okay, it's facing you like so, and then just go behind your yarn like this, go below your yarn, pull your hook down so that automatically grabs your yarn, and then pull it down and pull it through. So that right there is chain 1. So we'll make 4 more of that. So go below your yarn, grab your yarn, pull it down and pull it through. Chain 2, chain 3, chain 4, and 1 more, chain 5. So now we've made our foundation chain like so. Now we'll convert this foundation chain into a foundation ring to form the center of our granny square. So we'll have to do a slip stitch into the first chain right here. If you're not quite sure where your first chain is, all you need to do is count backwards from your hook. So when you count backwards from your hook, you're never going to count the loop on your hook. You're going to start counting from the one below it. So that's this one right here. Okay, so you're going to start counting from this one. So chain 1, chain 2, 3, 4 and 5. So we're going to insert our hook right here and make a slip stitch. Okay, so to make a slip stitch, you just insert your hook right through that chain space, so the first chain space, grab your yarn, pull it through and pull it through again. Okay, so when you do that, you get your foundation ring. Okay, as I said before, you can make your magic ring as well for this project. It's totally your preference. That's up to you. Okay, so once you've got your foundation ring like so, when you separate your yarn, you'll see you have 2 spaces opening up, right? You have 2 spaces here, one here on top and one below, right? The larger one here. So remember that all your stitches that you're going to work in row 1 is going to be in this space below. Okay, because this is the center of your foundation ring, not the one above. This is your chain space, so make sure that you're not inserting your stitches into this space. Rather, you'll be inserting your stitches into this center space right here. Okay, and another thing to notice, I always tell my subscribers, is that hold your loose end along with your foundation ring like so that when you work your stitches in a circle, when you're going around the rows, your loose end will automatically get into your stitches and you will not have to worry about sewing it in the end. Okay, so that saves a lot of trouble. So just hold it along with your foundation ring. Okay, so all that is said, now let's begin our row 1. So the first thing you need to do is to chain 3. So you're gonna grab your hook yarn like so, make a chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. Okay, and then you're gonna make 2 double crochet into that center space. So this first chain 3 is going to act as 1 double crochet. So when I say double crochet, this is the US term. Okay, in the UK this will be your treble crochet stitch. Okay, so this first chain 3 that we made is going to act as 1 double crochet stitch. Okay, so after that we are going to make 2 more double crochet into that center circle, center space we spoke about here. Okay, so to make a double crochet, you're going to yarn over once, so making 1 twist of yarn on your hook like so, and then you're going to insert your hook into that center space, grab your yarn, pull it through, so leaving 3 loops on the hook, 1, 2 and 3 like so. Okay, you're going to grab your yarn, pull through the first 2 loops, leaving 2 loops on your hook, grab your yarn and pull through the next 2 loops. So that is 1 double crochet right there. Okay, and you're going to make 1 more, so you're going to yarn over once, making 1 twist, chain 3 that we made. So that's going to act as our first double crochet, this is your second double crochet and third double crochet. Okay, so we have a total of 3 so far. Okay, now we're going to make our first corner, so you're going to just chain 2, so 1 and chain 2. So that's going to act as our first corner in row 1. Okay, and after that you're going to make another set of 3 double crochet stitches. Okay, so again you're going to yarn over once, making 1 twist of yarn on your hook like so, go into that same center space, grab your yarn, pull it through, we have 3 loops on the hook, grab your yarn, pull through the first 2 loops, 2 loops on our hook, grab your yarn, pull through the next 2 loops. So that's 1 double crochet right there. You're going to make 2 more, so the same thing, yarn over once, pull through, go to the center, you have 3 loops on your hook, grab your yarn, pull through the first 2 loops, grab your yarn and pull through the next 2 loops, second double crochet and 1 more double crochet. Okay, so we made our second side of our square in row 1, so another set of 3 double crochets like so. Now we are going to make our second corner, so you're going to chain 2 again and basically repeating this twice more. So as you can see, this is like half of your square in row 1. Okay, so once you've chained 2, forming the second corner of your square, you're going to make another 3 double crochet all into the center space. Okay, so you're going to yarn over, making 1 twist of yarn on your hook like so, go into that center space, grab your yarn, pull it through, 3 loops on the hook, grab your yarn, pull through the first 2 loops and grab your yarn and pull through the next 2 loops. So that's 1 double we've made our third side of our square, we'll make our third corner, so chain 2. Okay, and again we are going to do our last side of our square in row 1, so we are going to do another set of 3 double crochets right into that very center space. So once you've chained 2, you're going to yarn over again, making 1 twist of yarn on your hook like so. Go into the center, grab your yarn, pull it through. We have 3 loops on the hook. Grab your yarn, pull through the first 2 loops, and grab your yarn and pull through the next 2 loops. Okay, and 2 more. So the same thing, we are only working double crochet stitches. So now we worked 3 double crochets, okay, all together, and now we are going to do our last corner. So you're going to chain 2, so 1 and 2, and then we can just maybe tighten the center by pulling on the loose end like so, and see, our square is complete. Our row 1 is almost complete. Now all you need to do is slip stitch into the third chain that we first made. Remember the first 3 chains we made here, right? So you're gonna slip stitch into the third chain from the base. So this is your base, chain 1, chain 2 and chain 3. So to slip stitch, you're just going to insert your hook like so. Okay, grab your yarn, pull it through and pull it through. So that finishes our row 1. Okay, so this is row 1 complete. Now let's continue with row 2. So row 2 again is just the same as you would do your traditional granny square. So you're going to just chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. So once you've done your chain 3, that is going to act as your first double crochet in this space right here. Okay, it's going to act as 1 double crochet. Okay, and then after your chain 3, you're going to chain 1 more. So we've made a total of chain 4. Okay, so once you've made your chain 4, you're going to do 3 double crochet directly into the next gap space here. So this is where you worked your chain 4, right? So the next space is going to be this one right here. So once you've done your chain 4, you're going to work 3 double crochet into this corner space here. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing. You're going to yarn over, making 1 twist of yarn on your hook, go into that space like so, grab your yarn, pull it through, making 3 loops on our hook, grab your yarn, pull through the first 2 loops, grab your yarn, pull through the next 2 loops. Okay, that's 1 double crochet. You're going to make 2 more in that very same space. Okay, like so. Okay, so we've made 3 double crochet into the space. You're going to chain 2, 1 and 2. Okay, and then we are going to just do another 3 double crochet into that same space right here. Okay, so this is basically your corner, and this is how your corners work. So 3 double crochet that we already did, chain 2 and 3 more double crochet stitches into the same corner space. Okay, so you're going to yarn over, making 1 twist of yarn on your hook, go into that center space, go into that same space, grab your yarn, pull it through, 3 loops on our hook, grab your yarn, pull through the first 2 loops, grab your yarn and pull through the next 2 loops. So 1 double crochet, 2 more double crochet into that very same space. So we basically worked 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet all into that first corner space. Okay, that's how your corners will work for the granny square. So 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet all into that corner space. Once you're done with that, you're going to chain 1, okay, and do the same thing into the next corner space right here. So this is how your row 2 is going to work. So you're basically going to do the corners on all 4 spaces. Okay, so 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, then you're going to chain 1 in between the corners, so chain 1, and then again you're going to do 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet all into this corner space right here. Okay, that is your row 2 basically. So you make your double crochet. So this is 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, and 3 double crochet. Okay, chain 2, and then another 3 double crochet into that same corner space. Okay, so yarn over, same thing, corners you're going to chain 1. Okay, so once you're done with this set, you're done with your 3 double crochet, you chain 1 before you go into this space. Okay, so again yarn over, making 1 twist of loop on your hook, go into that corner space, yarn over, 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet, chain 2, and another set of 3 double crochet into that very same corner space. Okay, so it's the same thing as we would do in a traditional granny square. So once you're done with that corner, here I've done 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet right here. You're going to chain 1. Okay, now this is our last corner space. Okay, this is where we had begun our row 2 right here. Yeah, so here we are going to do something a little different because we already have this chain 3 here that we first did. Right, we did 4 chains in total. That one chain, the last chain, is going to act as the chain in between the corners. So the first 3 chains here is going to act as your one of your double crochets in this space, in this corner space. Okay, make sense? Okay, it will make sense to you in a bit. So once you've done with this corner, we finished our 3 double crochet and chain 1. You're going to make 3 double crochets into this corner space. Okay, so you're going to yarn over, go into that space, grab your yarn, pull through, 3 loops on a hook, grab your yarn, pull through the first 2 loops, grab your yarn, pull through the next 2 loops. So 1 double crochet, you're going to do 2 more into that space, that's another double crochet, and 1 more, so a total of 3 double crochet. Okay, you're going to chain 2. Okay, and then since we already have 1 double crochet here from our chain 3, we're just going to do 2 more double crochet into this same corner space. Okay, so after your chain 2, you're just going to do 2 double crochet into that very same corner space. Okay, so 1 double crochet and another double crochet, right, because this chain 3 is going to act as your 3rd double crochet in this set. Okay, so once you're done with that, now we are almost done with row 2 as well. So all you're going to do is slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the base. So this is your base right here. Remember the first chain we made, so this is chain 1, chain 2 and chain 3 is right here, right? So you're just going to slip stitch into this chain space. So to slip stitch, you're just going to insert your hook like so, grab your yarn, pull it through and pull it through. So that there finishes your row 2. So let's continue with row 3. So the row 3 for this granny square is where we get the shape of the heart. So this is basically the most important row in this project. Okay, so the stitches and everything is just going to be the same as we worked so far. It's just that we are going to change color and work into particular gap spaces to get that particular shape. Okay, so here we have finished our row 2, right? We slip stitch and completed row 2. So now what you're going to do is slip stitch again into this gap space right here. Okay, so all you're doing is just insert your hook into that gap space. Okay, like so. Grab your yarn, pull it through and pull it through again. Okay, so we just slip stitch into this gap space right there. So this is how your project will look. Okay, so now we are going to start with our row 3. So we are going to chain 3. Okay, now we are going to chain 3. So grab your yarn, pull through, chain 1, grab your yarn, pull down and pull through, chain 2 and chain 3. Okay, so this chain 3 is going to act as one double crochet again in this row 3 as well. So this is going to act as one double crochet stitch. Okay, so once you've done your chain 3, now we are going to do 2 more double crochet stitches into this gap space, into the same gap space right here. Okay, so we did our chain 3 and then again we are going to grab our yarn like so. Okay, making one twist of yarn on our hook, going into that gap space, grabbing our yarn, pulling it through, 3 loops on our hook, grab your yarn, pull through the first 2 loops, 2 loops on our hook, grab your yarn and pull through the next 2 loops. So that is one double crochet. Okay, and one more double crochet into that same gap space. Okay, so we made a total of 3 double crochet into this gap space. Okay, that's including the first chain 3. So the chain 3 which will act as one double crochet, then our second double crochet right here and the third double crochet right here. Okay, so that is actually the tip of our heart. Okay, the bottom part of our heart. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to get our stitch right here. Okay, so we are going to be skipping all these stitches. Okay, we are going to be skipping these stitches, this corner and these stitches as well, and we want to work our next set of double crochets into this space. Okay, on this side. Okay, so to do that we are going to slip stitch all our way till here. Okay, I worked this a number of ways and this is so far the neatest way to do this. So all we are going to do is just slip stitch our way till that gap space right here. Okay, so I'll just show you how I did that. So we finished our third double crochet in this set, right? After that we are going to slip stitch into this double crochet itself. Okay, so the best way to do that is just insert your hook right here in the center of that double crochet. So if you see this is our double crochet, right? So you're just going to insert your hook right there like this into that double crochet stitch, grab our yarn, okay, pull through, okay, and pull through again. So you're basically working into the middle of that double crochet stitch. Okay, and then after you did that you're going to work right here into this space. Okay, if you can't see the space right here, it's fine, you can just work into the gap space as well, but if you can see it, that's even better. So see, when you separate your yarn like this, you'll see the small triangular spaces opening up above each double crochet stitch of the previous row, like this, these 3 double crochet stitches, right? You can see these small gap spaces opening up. So you're basically going to just slip stitch into the top of these stitches. Okay, so once you're done here, you're just going to insert your hook into this gap space right here first, grab a yarn, pull through and pull through all together. Okay, so you basically worked one slip stitch into that gap space. So that is equivalent to the first space here, so that's okay. If you can work into that space, very good, otherwise just work into the gap space. Okay, just slip stitch into the gap space, that's fine. Okay, so once you're done with that, you'll see the next gap space, the next space right here. This is your stitch spaces. Okay, So on top of your double crochet stitches, you'll see your stitch spaces right here. I hope you can see it, the small tiny space right here, right? So you're going to just slip stitch all the way there. So you're just going to insert your hook into that space like so, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through again. Okay, so we worked on top of this stitch. Now we're going to work again a slip stitch into this gap, this small stitch space here. So you're going to insert your hook there, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through again. Okay, so we worked again into that stitch space. Now we reach this corner. So again in this gap space we are just going to insert our hook just into that gap space, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through again, another slip stitch. Okay, and now we come back to this these 3 double crochets here. You're going to again slip stitch, so 3 slip stitches into each of these stitch spaces here and reach this gap space. This is our goal, to reach this gap space here. Okay, so this is how it will look like. It's okay if it looks weird, it will come out fine. Okay, just trust me. Okay, so once you reach this corner space, you're again going to slip stitch into this next stitch space. So I hope you can see that. Just separate your yarn gently. You'll be able to see right above the double crochet this tiny space here. Okay, this one here. So you're just going to insert your hook right there directly into that space, grab your yarn, pull through like so and pull through again. So that's one slip stitch above that double crochet. You're going to do again another slip stitch right here. Okay, so insert your hook, it will look like. And then once we reach this gap space, we are going to just slip stitch into that gap space as well. So insert your hook, pull through and pull through. Okay, so we worked one slip stitch into that space right here, and here we are going to work again our 3 double crochet stitches. We are going to work a set of 3 double crochet stitches. So first you need to chain 3. So 1, 2 and 3. So this first chain 3 is going to act as 1 double crochet, and then you're going to do 2 more double crochet into this same space here. Okay, so yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops. So we have our chain 3 and 1 double crochet. Right, we're going to do 1 more double crochet into that same gap space. So that makes 3 double crochet stitches into this gap space, including the first chain 3 we made here. Okay, so 1, 2 and 3 double crochet. Okay, so this is how your project will look like so far. Alright, now we're going to do the same thing as we normally would do. So we are going to work again into this corner space. So once you finish with the 3 double crochet here in this gap space, once you're done with this, we're just going to chain 1. Okay, and then here we are going to work 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet stitches all into this corner space here, into this gap space here. Okay, so after you chained 1, you're just going to work 3 double crochets, okay, chain 2 and 3 double crochet all into this corner space, just as we did the corners before. Okay, so 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet, okay, chain 2, 1, 2, okay, and then 3 more double crochet into the same corner space. Okay, so yarn over, making 1 twist, going into that space, grab your yarn, pull through, 3 loops on our hook, grab your yarn, pull through the first 2 loops, grab your yarn, pull through the next 2 loops. Okay, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, sorry, and 3 double crochet. So we did 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet, just as we normally did the corners before. Okay, so now we've done with one side of the heart. Now we are going to be skipping this gap space again and working into this corner space right here onto the other side. Okay, so to do that, we're going to do the same thing we did here in the bottom. So we are going to be working slip stitches all the way till the next gap space here. Okay, so for that, you're going to just insert your hook into the last double crochet. So this is the last double crochet we worked, right? So we are just going to insert our hook into one of the loops of the double crochet like so. Grab your yarn, pull through and pull through again. Okay, so we worked into the middle of the double crochet, the last double crochet, and then we're going to work into this gap space as well. So just insert your hook into that gap space. Okay, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through. Okay, so we just worked a slip stitch into this bottom of this gap space as well. Now we need to work 2 more slip stitches into the top of these double crochets here. So when you separate your yarn, you'll see these small spaces, your stitch spaces. Okay, so identify your stitch spaces, insert your hook directly into them, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through again. So that's one slip stitch. Then you're going to again do another slip stitch into this top stitch space here on top of this double crochet. Okay, insert your hook, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through again. So we did another slip stitch there, and now we reach this gap space, right? We reach this gap space. You're just going to insert your hook directly into that gap space, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through again. Okay, so we slip stitch into the gap space. We are not going to work any stitches here. We are again going to slip stitch into the stitch spaces on top of these double crochet stitches as well. So one slip stitch here, one slip stitch here and another slip stitch here. Okay, till we reach this gap space here. Okay, so all you need to do is insert your hook into that stitch space, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through. So that's another slip stitch, another slip stitch here. So insert your hook, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through. Okay, this might be a little fiddly, but don't worry, just work with me. Okay, now the next space right here, you're going to insert your hook there, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through. So we worked 3 slip stitches all on top of these previous double crochet stitches. Now we reached the top of this gap space, so you're just going to insert your hook into that gap space, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through. So we did one more slip stitch into that gap space. Okay, now we are going to work the corner into this gap space just like we normally would. So we are going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and of course this chain 3 is going to act as one double crochet, okay, into this space, and we're just going to do the same thing we did here. So since this chain 3 is going to act as one double crochet, we're going to do 2 more double crochet into that space, okay, like we normally would. So 2 double crochet, so 1 and 2. So our first chain 3 will act as one double crochet, then we did 2 more double crochet, making this a total of 3 double crochet, chain 2 and another 3 double crochet all into the same stitch, into the same gap space. Okay, so 3 double crochet, chain 2 and another 3 double crochet into this gap space. Okay, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet all into this same space. Okay, so now we are almost done. Now after this we are going to just chain 1, okay, and work 3 double crochets into this next space as well. So how we did on this side, the same thing we are going to do. So after you finish your 3 double crochet, you're going to chain 1 and work 3 more double crochet into the next space right here. So you're going to yarn over, go directly into that gap space, pull your yarn and make your 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet and 3 double crochet. So we just made 3 double crochet into the next space, just how we normally would. Okay, so we finish this corner, chain 1 and 3 double crochet into this space. Okay, so now this is basically all we need to do with this color. Okay, now you can actually cut off your yarn here and join your next color. Okay, so you can join your colors how you normally would if you have your own way to do that, but I'll just show you how I do it. Normally what I do is the last loop that we pull through, right, this loop, I just remove that. So I just remove the last loop. So I basically leave the last double crochet incomplete. Okay, so this last double crochet we worked, I just work. Okay, I'll just show it to you properly so that. Okay, so I just removed it to show you how I change my color. So I did my 2 double crochets here, right, and I'm going to work the 3rd double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over, go into that gap space, grab our yarn, pull through 3 loops on our hook, grab your yarn, pull through the first 2 loops, and now we have 2 loops on the hook, right? So here what I do is I stop, and I don't, usually we just yarn over and pull through the next 2 loops to finish this double crochet stitch, right? But instead, if I'm going to change my color, what I'm going to do is grab my other yarn. Okay, so I'm going to be using this baby pink color, and what I do is instead of pulling through grabbing the first color, I'm going to grab the second color. Okay, so I'm just going to hold like this. Okay, and instead of pulling the lilac color, I'll be pulling this baby pink color yarn through these 2 loops. So I'm just going to grab my yarn and pull through these 2 loops. This is just the way I change my color. You can change your color however you wish to. Okay, so instead of the lilac color, the baby pink color yarn, the second color yarn, I'm going to pull through the last 2 loops. Okay, like so. That's it. Okay, so now before I continue with my yarn, I usually like to cut off the first color. So the first color, my lilac color, I'll just leave a little bit of yarn so I can work the ends later on, and I'll just cut it off so it doesn't get tangled in. Okay, so I leave a nice amount of yarn and then I just cut off the end. Then we'll work on it later. Okay, so now we'll work with the second color. Okay, so you can attach your color however you wish to. This is just, I just wanted to show you the way that I do it. And then once you do that, you just pull the first color from behind just to sort of tighten the part. Okay, like so. Okay, so now just chain 1. Once you've attached your color, just chain 1 to secure it, and we are going to work the next corner space in the second color. Okay, so this next space right here, you're going to do the same thing that we previously did in all the corners of the granny square. So once you chained 1, you changed your color, you chain 1, and then you work 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet all into this corner, into this space right here. Okay, so you're going to yarn over, making 1 twist of yarn on your hook, go into the next space, so this corner space right here, and we are going to work a corner. So 3 double crochets, that's 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet and 3 double crochet. Okay, chain 2, 1, 2, and another 3 double crochet all into that same space. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet and 3 double crochet. So I changed the color, chain 1, then I worked 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet all into the next space. Okay, after that I just chain 1. Okay, and then we reach this tip that we previously made for the heart, right? So all you're going to do is slip stitch 3 times on top of these 3 double crochet stitches and reach this area here. Okay, so all you're going to do is just insert your hook right there on top of the first of the 3rd chain. Remember we had made chain 3 here, right? So on top you just insert your hook, grab your yarn, pull through, okay, and pull through again. Okay, you've got it. It might be a little fiddly, but you've got it, don't worry. Okay, so you just slip stitch there just to sort of make that border. Then you're going to insert into the next stitch, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through again. Okay, so the second slip stitch, and the third slip stitch again, you're just going to insert your hook. It can get fiddly, it's okay. That's because we worked a lot of slip stitches there. Okay, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through. So we basically just remember to work 3 slip stitches, one into the top of each of these 3 double crochets, so you get a sort of nice border there. Okay, so that's that. And now we reach this side, we're just going to chain 1. Okay, and again we are going to work this corner as we normally would. So this corner space right here, this one here, so we are going to work 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet all into this space. So you're going to yarn over, go into that gap space, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, okay, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops. Okay, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet all into this space right here. One double crochet, 2 double crochet and 3 double crochet. Okay, so we worked this corner as we normally would. We did 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet, and then you're going to chain 1 and we are going to slip stitch into the top of all these stitches, reaching this space right here. Okay, okay, so we have done our chain 1 and then we're going to start doing our slip stitches from here, from this stitch here all the way till this stitch here. Okay, so yes, we're going to be working slip stitches all the way. Okay, this is the best way to do it if you don't want to have a lot of ends to sew in at the end. I just hate doing that, so I rather do this. Okay, so once you've done your chain 1, then you're just going to insert your hook into this space here. Here this was a chain 3 that we did, so just go to the 3rd chain, so this one here, and you're going to insert your hook. You're doing a slip stitch, so you're inserting your hook, grabbing your yarn, pulling it through and pulling it through. Okay, so we worked a slip stitch here. Now we're going to work slip stitches on top of these double crochet stitches. So when you're working on top of a double crochet, you need to know where your stitch space is. Okay, so when you pull gently like this, you will see these small triangular spaces opening up on top of your double crochet. This one and this one right here, I hope you can see. Yeah, these 2 spaces. So that's where you're going to be doing your slip stitches. Okay, it's not that hard. It's once you identify the space, then it's very easy. Okay, so you're just going to insert your hook there into that space, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through again. So that's 1 slip stitch, another slip stitch on top of this double crochet as well, and now we reach our space here, our gap space. So for the gap spaces, you just insert your hook into the gap space, grab your yarn and pull through again. Okay, so as 1 slip stitch worked into that gap space as well. Okay, and then here again you have our 3 double crochet stitches. Identify the stitch spaces above all those double crochet stitches. So here you can see that tiny space, 1, 2 and 3. So you're going to do 1 slip stitch here, 1 slip stitch here and 1 slip stitch here. Okay, so insert your hook into that space, grab your yarn, pull through 1. Okay, then there you have your second stitch space, that space right there. So you're going to insert your hook, do another slip stitch, pull through. Okay, and another one, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through. So we did 3 slip stitches above the double crochet stitches. We reached the gap space here. So for the gap spaces, you're just going to insert your hook, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through. So 1 slip stitch into the gap space as well, and then we reach our 3 double crochets here as well. So again, you're going to be working slip stitches on top of these 2 double crochets here, and then in this one you're just going to work on top of this chain. Okay, so again, insert your hook, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through. Okay, insert your hook, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through. Okay, so slip stitch is done there. Now another slip stitch into this space right here. So you're just going to insert your hook, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through. Okay, so we worked slip stitches all the way till here. Okay, it's okay if it's not looking that great, it will look better when we do the next row of stitches as well. Okay, so once you've reached here and you finished your slip stitches all the way till here, you're just going to chain 1, okay, and work 3 double crochet stitches into this space here. Okay, this gap space that we had left. Okay, we are going to work 3 double crochet. So once you finish your slip stitches, chain 1 and then grab your yarn like so, yarn over and go into this space and do 3 double crochet stitches as normal. Okay, so I'm just working 3 double crochet stitches into that gap space right here. So this is 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet and 3 double crochet like so. So we worked 3 double crochet into this space right here. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is chain 1 again. So after your 3 double crochet, we chain 1 and again we are going to work slip stitches into the top of these stitches all the way till we changed our color here. Okay, so that sort of gives a nice border effect to your heart. Okay, so we did our 3 double crochet stitches here, chain 1 and then we're going to insert our hook on top of this chain stitch here. Okay, like so, grab a yarn, pull through and pull through again. So 1 slip stitch there. Now I told you before, you need to just identify your stitch spaces. So the spaces here, okay, these spaces here just below your chain space on top, just below them, just above your double crochet. So this one right here. Okay, these spaces. So you're just gonna do slip stitches right there. So grab your yarn, pull through and pull through, 1 slip stitch. Again into the next space right here, you're going to insert your hook, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through. So we worked 3 slip stitches on top of each of these double crochets. We reached the gap space. You're going to just insert your hook there, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through. So we worked 1 slip stitch into the gap space as well, and then again you're going to work slip stitches 1 on top of each of these spaces here above the double crochet. So you're just going to insert your hook like so. Okay, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through. Don't make the slip stitches too tight. Try and just give it enough tension but not too tight. Okay, so it's easier. Then again the next space is this one right here. So you're just going to insert your hook, do a slip stitch and another slip stitch into the next space, and that reaches again this gap space here. You're just going to insert your hook into that gap space, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through. Okay, now we reach the top of the 3 double crochets. Again you're going to insert your hook here, do a slip stitch here, another slip stitch here and another slip stitch here. Okay, so just insert your hook, grab your yarn, pull through and pull through. So the main part in this is just to identify the stitch spaces. Once you identify the stitch spaces, then it becomes a lot more easy. Okay, once you reach the last one, you just do the same thing, you slip stitch again. Okay, and then just slip stitch into the gap here, into the next gap space here. Okay, so once you're done with these 3 double crochets, you're just going to slip stitch again into this gap and you're basically done with row 3. Okay, and another suggestion that I would give you is that remember this baby pink color that we left here, the loose end, so just make sure that you're holding it along with these stitches on top so that it gets sewed along with your row 4. Okay, so just slip stitch into this space, into this gap space, and that finishes your row 3. So this is how your heart is getting shape. Okay, I know it doesn't look like much, but once you do row 4, then the shape same thing, because we already changed our color, and row 3 was the only one which was different in this pattern. The row 4 is the same. Okay, so once you've done your slip stitch into this gap space, we can start with row 4. So you're going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and then you're going to work 2 more double crochet stitches into this gap space here, right into this gap space. This first chain 3 is going to act as 1 double crochet, and then you're going to do 2 more double crochet into that space. Sorry, and as I just wanted to show you that, see, I'm working this loose end of this baby pink color along with this chain here, so that again this loose end gets stitched along with these stitches in row 4, and then you don't have to worry about it. Okay, work into this corner. Since it's a corner of your square, you're going to do 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet all into this corner space. Okay, so just as you normally would do for your granny square. So you're going to, after you did your 3 double crochet, you chained 1, and then you're going to work 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet all into that corner space. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet into that very same corner space. 1, 2, okay, and 3. So we work 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet all into this corner space. So once we're done with that, you're going to chain 1 and work another 3 double crochets into this next space here. So just as we would normally do our granny square. So after chain 1, we're going to do 3 double crochets into this corner space, just as we normally would. Okay, so 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, and 3 double crochet. Okay, chain 1 and another set of 3 double crochets into this corner, into this gap space as well. So once we've done this 3 double crochet, we just chain 1 and then do 3 more double crochet stitches into the next gap space here, like we normally would. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet and 3 double crochet, chain 1, and then we're going to work this corner. So again, after you do chain 1, we're going to do 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet all into this center space. So this is the same way as you would do your corner spaces for your traditional granny square. So it's basically the same thing. Okay, that's the reason why I'm going a little faster. if you find that I'm doing it too fast for you to understand, then I will leave a link to the other video tutorial where I teach you how to do the simple traditional granny square, so you can follow that as well if you find this a little too fast for you. Okay, so I'm just doing the same thing. So 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet here, chain 1, and then we come to our next space right here. So we're going to work 3 double crochets again into this space. So into each gap space we are just working 3 double crochets. Okay, so we finish 3 double crochet here, chain 1, and here again we have our next space. We are going to work 3 double crochet again. So 1, 2 and 3 double crochet, going to chain 1, and we reached our next corner. So for the corners we do the same thing. We are going to do 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet all into that corner. So 3 double crochet, chain 1, and here we have our next space after the corner. So we are going to work again 3 double crochets into this corner, into this gap space. Okay, so we're going to work 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet and 3 double crochet into that space. Again chain 1, and we are working another set of 3 double crochets into the next space also. So same thing, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet and 3 double crochet, chain 1, and now we reached our last corner for row 4. So this one right here, right, this space right here, and there we are going to work again 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet all into this corner space. Okay, so we are working 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet all into that same corner space. 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so we work 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet all into this space right here. We are going to chain 1, okay, and work into our last space right here. We are going to work another 3 double crochet stitches into that next space. Okay, so 1, 2 and 3 double crochet stitches. Once we are done with that, we are just going to chain 1, okay, and then slip stitch into the top of the third chain here. So remember we did our chain 3, right? So 1, 2, 3. So we are just going to slip stitch right here, and that finishes our row 4. Okay, so just going to insert our hook right there, grab your yarn, pull it through and pull it through. So that finishes our row 4. Basically our row 4 is complete, and to finish this project we're just gonna chain 1, okay, and cut off our yarn, leave a little bit of the yarn left, and then we're just gonna grab our scissors and cut off the yarn, okay, and pull through, tighten your nose here, and that is your heart in a granny square. Okay, so I'll just sew in my ends, and I'll meet you in a minute. So I just sewed in my ends, and this is how your heart in a granny square looks like. I hope this was fun to make and this tutorial was easy to follow. If you like this video, please give this video a thumbs up and share this video with your friends if you like to, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for more free tutorials on how to crochet. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.